Hey, Citizens, back with me again, Aji Gautama Putrada. I'm your lecturer for operating systems. This is our fifth meeting. It's about concurrency case study. In the fifth video, we are going to discuss about producer and consumer semaphore implementation. So don't forget, this is our program, the producer and the consumer. And now we want to implement the semaphore to the producer and the consumer so mutual exclusion can happen. Now, before we discuss about the consumer and producer, let's remember that we have three different problems. And to address these three different problems, we need three different semaphores. And we would like to add an assumption that the buffer size is 5. So there are 5 members of the buffer, 5 addresses. So because a semaphore is basically an integer, we declare 3 integers for the 3 semaphores. First, a semaphore called first a semaphore called S, a semaphore called S, which is to protect the producing and the consuming process so it doesn't happen at the same time, which is the first problem. So this is initiated to 1, meaning that only one process can enter the critical section at the same time. And the second one, I'll write it in a different color. This is called full, which addresses the second problem, which is the producer cannot access the buffer when the buffer is full, because it cannot access the buffer when the buffer is full and the buffer size is 5. So in full is initiated to 5. And then lastly, the third semaphore to address the third problem, which is not to access the buffer when it is empty for the consumer. And then we assume that the buffer is empty, so the consumer cannot run directly, it must wait, so the initial state is 0, so it is blocked if the consumer tries to access it directly. Okay, now first we will equip the producer and the consumer with the first semaphore, which is orange. So don't forget to enter the critical section. We use sem wait yes, and to leave the critical section, sem signal s. And because the consumer and the producer have the same critical section, we write the same thing up here. Sem wait s and sem signal s. And now we equip the producer and the consumer with the second semaphore, which is full. Here we put sem wait full. So every time it accesses the producer, it will decrement the full semaphore to indicate that one member is being filled, and here same signal full. It is put in the consumer to tell you that when the consumer consumes, the full is documented one time. And of course, the last one is empty. So here, same weight empty. So when the consumer tries to access first, it is immediately blocked because the value is already 0. And to signal the consumer, the producer ends it with a same signal empty. So now it is equipped. So that is the end of our fifth video. In this video, we have equipped our consumer and producer with 3 different semaphores. In the next video, we'll show how these 3 semaphores will work. Thank you for your attention. I'll see you in the next video.